I should be live by now. I'm just waiting for a message to pop up. Okay, yeah, there we go. I'm live. Anyway, hi. I streamed briefly, really late at night yesterday, like at 3 a.m. or something, because I had been asleep the entire day yesterday, and I had woken up at like 3, and decided to, yeah, I guess I'll stream now. I'm well rested, but I removed part of that stream because I didn't make any progress, and I had been streaming for an hour, but then I turned it back on and I made a little bit of progress for another hour, and I think we can make some progress this time. I made, because I left off on, you know, a good sort of rhythm the last time I streamed. I just left because I had to get ready for work. Had to go get washed up and stuff. But yeah, starting earlier tonight, but it's still pretty late. But we're gonna proceed. Got to do some interesting discussions though. Even on that little hour I did, got into discussion about Einstein and quantum mechanics, because that's brought up in this fucking game. Oh, why the hell did it exit? It went off of my screen for some reason. Yeah, it got into like, it brought up Higgs and Bose and fucking Einstein and quantum mechanics and physics of the brain apparently. They're talking about like, oh, the brain, it doesn't just have electrical impulses, it has quantum physics going on in it, and at least in this reality of this game. And the brain is being tapped to unlock its quantum abilities and be able to rewind time. And I was calling out a bunch of quantum bullshit that people just believe and accept at face value. Like, and people still to this day even believe Einstein's relativity when it's already been like pointed out as incorrect multiple times, like for decades, and people still accept that, and it's still taught in like Harvard and Princeton. It's stupid. And MIT. But go talk to actual GPS experts and actual developers and engineers. They'll tell you they don't use relativity. I actually have some, some talks and some papers by people like Ron Hatch, who was an expert on GPS. He helped the government develop a lot of GPS technology and apparatus. He points out, yeah, we don't use relativity for GPS. But, he points out that whenever he points this out, nobody wants to listen. It's like some weird sort of, it's like they don't really want people to know how shit works. And that's like the real reason why that happens. Like, the people who run shit don't want the peasants actually knowing how anything works. They want them to believe everything's like some magical, abstract thing and nothing makes sense. This is why they push people towards shit like quantum, because quantum, it just purports that, oh, we can't understand anything about our reality. Okay, it's all random bullshit. It's all cartoon nonsense. Okay, guys? That's why like our authorities like pushing that shit. Well, if we don't want the peasants knowing how shit works, and then they know that they're getting ripped off, and we're just charging them for shit that it would be actually affordable because they understand how the shit works. They know how what shit's supposed to cost. All right? If we can't quantify a field, and they know this, we can't sell them particles back and to capitalize our profits. Okay? That's why they want to quantify everything, put a price tag and a quantity on everything. When even to something that's just ever present, like a fucking electrical field modality, or not a modality, just the field itself. We create modalities in the field to create phenomena like, you know, things we use to power our electronics and light and shit like that. I mean, that's what light is. It's an induction in a field, an electrical field or medium. Anyway, that's ever present, even in a vacuum. That's why they want to say, like, oh, we don't want to point that out, because then it shits all over our quantum nonsense. Because if it works in a vacuum, our quantum shit doesn't work. Like, I'll get into this. I'll even play what I'm talking about in a minute. But I think I haven't clicked on everything in here, so I want to see if I can make progress here. I need to do something with this phone. And I notice I've, like, what happens if I click myself with that phone? No. Can I click her with it? No, use the phone to click.
Here's your phone back.
Oh, I just give it back to her. Okay, no. No, we want to use it. What if I click it on the answering machine?
I dial my sister's phone.
Oh. See, I've never had this happen. Okay.
Hey, you've reached Anne and Joe Galanis. We're not home right now. Leave a message.
I hang up.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I think I know what I need to do. Okay. Take that out. Where's the other tape I had? Put this in.
The reporter's tape, but the only working button is for play.
Yeah, shut up. Close it. We already know. Just call it. Call it now.
I dial my sister's phone.
Sometime this evening. Asset is ready, commencing shortly, Dr. Roth.
Yes, we observed. The Carter's on timeline, all set for reintegration at Phase 5.
Matrix decay should be stable until then, but... Hey! Who's that? Hey!
Make any sense to you?
No, but Bill might have died for it.
Who's this Dr. Roth?
Dunno, but I'm gonna find out.
Okay. Well, now we've made some progress. That's new. I never got that. I knew that's what we had to put that tape in there for something. Why else would they let us put that in there?
I dial my sister's phone.
Let's hear that again.
Sometime this evening. Asset is ready, commencing shortly, Dr. Roth.
Yes, we observed. The Carter's on timeline, all set for reintegration at Phase 5.
Matrix decay should be stable until then, but... Hey! Who's that? Hey!
Very cryptic, but I guess we'll figure out what that's about. We'll give you back your phone now.
Here's your phone back.
Let's talk to her about that. Dr. Roth.
Can you see if there's anything on there on a Dr. Roth?
There's a million different hits. You'll need more info if you want to narrow it
I
down.
need a first name at the very least.
Oh, take a look at this. I searched for Trinity alongside Dr. Roth.
Yeah, that's smart.
The one in the beard. I've seen him.
That's Roth.
Oh, that's Dr. Light. We have seen him. He came into our hospital room. What was that about? We also saw him near the Herald. So we've seen him more than that. More than at the hospital. Yeah, he was at the Herald. I guess, I don't know if he was checking on us or the bum that was sleeping outside. But he was there both times. This looks like fucking Jason Alexander from Seinfeld. And this looks like Elaine. But this is supposed to be Dr. Ansari. She's on the board of the Trinity Biotech as well. Okay. We talked to her already.
Still no address?
Nothing.
No address,
Just a
huh?
photo in the alt text. Dr.
No
Roth, Center, one of Trinity's 3 founding members.
No fucking address, huh? Dr. Roth, he was one of the recording. Was on the recording the reporter Grace gave to Bill. Okay, yeah, we heard him talking. He runs a company called Trinity Biotech. He definitely doesn't sound as nice as Dr. Light, though. He sounds evil. One of the 3 founding members. I should try to find out more, okay? Still need to find out about that bald guy. Dr. Nazarian. Guess we'll go talk to her again. Or maybe we'll go talk to the cop first. Nothing else, okay. We'll go talk to the cop first. Or the detective. He's not really a cop so much. I think he's a private investigator, but he's working with the police force. 'Cause, you know, that happens. He doesn't wear a uniform, though, or a badge. Okay. We got some new info about a Dr. Roth. Check him out.
Tell him about the tape, the message, and the name Dr. Roth. I found out this Dr. Roth runs Trinity Biotech.
Good work, boss.
Don't know how this is helping find Annie.
Lead's a lead.
Yeah, I guess we'll leave and then come back, because he'll probably have more to say after we leave. And then return. He'll look him up by that point. Now go back. Okay. What you got? Nothing new, huh? Not yet. Guess we gotta go and do other things first. Yeah. The whole thing about the space-time bending, because the clocks are, you know, they're different because of our observation is wrong. I just gotta point that out. That was always a stupid understanding of what's happening there. It's not accounting for, like, the different rates in which, like, something that's a machine created by people has different speeds and will move at different rates depending on, you know, what resistance it's experiencing. Like something that's like a metal, basically a metal box, is going to be affected by electromagnetism. All right, that's just one thing, and then you got to account for the fact that, yeah, different machines are going to move at different speeds. So that's just something that's not understood in this whole accounting for, like,
Security.
the clock
He's
experiment.
back again. If you have something to say, you'd
Relativity in space-time. There's no curving of space-time. Time isn't even real. It's just a measurement. It's not an actual thing. There's no material.
make it quick.
And space has no properties either. That's not me saying that. That's, you know, someone who was smarter than Einstein pointing that out. And it was, it convinced Einstein enough that he ditched his original theory. After that happened, after Tesla criticized that, he decided to ditch that theory and created another thing. And then people want to revitalize it today, even though, like, Einstein's theory was just based on, like, other people like Lorentz and Fitzgerald, and also, yeah, Henry Poincaré. Like, it's not even something he created. It's just something he pilfered from lesser known physicists. It's just a Lorentz concept, basically. That's all his relativity bullshit was. The time dilation shit. It's just something that was already, like, explained by Lorentz, which is, you know, you can question that too, but it's not like a new concept. It was already something that Lorentz propositioned. Talk to her about Dr. Light now.
Do you know a Dr. Roth?
Why did you hear that name?
You know it.
No. No, I don't.
You do. I know you do.
Where's that security?
Bitch. You know him.
You're a doctor. What reason could there be for a lot of people to start going crazy?
Fluoride in the water?
Huh?
Fluoride. The government puts it there. It's how they control our minds.
Yeah,
Please get out of my office.
they put it in there, but I wouldn't say. I mean, fluoride does not have like mind control properties. It's, at best, it has neurological damage. Sure, I don't think it's the best thing for people's brains, and they do put it in our drinking water. But she's just trying to deflect from what the hell they're doing, which is causing crazier shit than what she's pointing out. No, you got a bunch of like homeless people just going crazy go nuts, and they're also like we're under the effect of whatever they put into some homeless people. We got doped up by those Sam Fisher guys we met earlier, and now we're having hallucinations of our dead son, and we're also able to rewind time because they've untapped the quantum particles that our brain has, so we can rewind time every time we die or fuck up. That's what's happening in this game's lore.
What are you doing to that brain?
If you must know, I'm stimulating tubulin protein subunits and testing the condensates in linked glial cells.
No, it didn't,
Thought so.
it didn't save. I thought it would save. I thought I already asked her this shit, but it doesn't seem like it saved that. Let's save just in case. Well, we talked to her about it. Maybe we should go back to the Herald. Maybe the Herald will have his number. Dr. Roth. Okay, after I discover this, I'm going to play what I'm talking about. I'm going to play a Ron Hatch, who is a GPS expert. He will point out why relativity is wrong. The motherfucker is an engineer for GPS and an expert. He, like I pointed out, he literally worked with the government to help them with the GPS. He's not like some random
There's
fuck.
a name here I need. I don't know it yet.
Yeah, you do. Shut the fuck up. Let's look for Roth. Dumbass. Is there not a Roth?
Damn. There's nothing here under Roth.
Thoughts. Okay, well, it was worth a try. What about on here? Oh!
Yes! Dr. G. Roth. Remittance report. My excitement fades as I leaf through the pages. Just a long list of payments to other companies. No details about Roth, no addresses, not even company names. Just their business IDs.
Well, at least he got a first
Well,
name.
I'll hold on to it for now.
Or a first initial, really. Okay, well, that's something. Let's take
No
that.
idea what I should be looking for. Maybe I can find a lead elsewhere.
Okay. We'll take that to the detective. He'll probably know what to do with that. Then we'll go and throw that bitch Nazari. Just trying to stonewall us. I don't like that shit. That makes me more curious. Oh, we gotta click this first. Got a package for you.
I found a list of payments from Dr. Roth.
Good work.
It's just hundreds of business IDs, though. Can you look those up?
If you're happy to give it over to the police and wait a few days, sure.
Fuck that. I don't
I'll
trust
hang
the
on to it
popos.
for now.
There's a good boy. See if any other IDs show up. Something you can cross-check against.
Yeah, we don't trust the police. They're like, they're all like, some of them are compromised. I would say the whole precinct is probably compromised. That's why he's hanging out here instead of going to the police station. He can't trust any of the police anymore right now. They knocked him out earlier. He knows there's something corrupt going on. Alright. We'll go talk to Dr. Roth about it. Or our sister. Or not our sister, our wife. Let's go talk to her first. She can look up, you can look up some of these people.
I I have a list of business IDs here and payments from Dr. Roth.
I can pull info on these companies from the public register. It'll take time though. There's hundreds there.
Damn. Okay, I'll try to work out what we're looking for.
Huh, really?
I have a list of business...
I can pull info on these companies from the it'll take time though.
Damn. Okay, I'll try to work out what we're looking for.
So, how long do I gotta wait for you to pull them? I like search engines before Google became the main bitch. You could find, or at least before Google just, started scrubbing a lot of info. Like, you used to be able to find anything before Google became as big dick as it is now. They like helping to like destroy the internet and the information that you could originally find. Like, I think they were literally a honeypot that was recruited by the government to do that. They work for the government practically at this point. So they like help the government censor a lot of info at this point. You used to be able to find way more on Google. No more. It's streamlined like fucking television now, practically, if you're trying to find anything useful. Like, I stopped watching TV because you didn't get real info on there. But then now they've compromised much of the internet. You can barely find a lot of real info on the internet anymore after all the streamlining that's gone on and the censoring of information that they've been getting really good at this point. Right, who can I go to now? I guess we'll go to her. We haven't gone to her with this envelope.
Security.
Shut up.
If you have something.
Answer my questions.
What do you make of this?
Where'd you get that?
What is it?
From my ass.
No idea. Just a bunch of random numbers.
Uh-huh.
What do you make of this?
I told you.
Nothing there I can...
Well, she's not giving us any new info. Well, damn. This led nowhere. Maybe our ex-wife has found some shit, though. Alright.
I have a list of...
I can pull info. It'll take time.
Damn. Okay.
Can I call
Nothing
somebody?
there.
What if I call somebody?
Nothing there I can cross-check. Nothing there I can cross-check with these payments. Nothing there. Nothing.
Alright, I think this is a good time since I'm kind of stalled at this point. We're going to play something from a GPS expert, Ron Hatch. Okay? RONHATCH. You can look him up, alright? He has a government page on GPS.gov, gps.gov. Okay? Pretty sure, yeah, that's the address. Let me look it up. I'm on it right now, actually. Yeah, gps.gov. He has his own page right here. Ronald R. Hatch. We're going to play something from him talking about GPS.
I wouldn't worry, Johnny.
This is some dumb video. Not
Longtime fans of...
No, I don't know who the hell this is. Why is this up? I didn't click on this video. Wrong video. Wrong video. Wrong fucking video. Bit of stalling going on. Okay. I have it. Is it this one? Taking a while to load is the problem. Pisses me off. There's also another guy named Edward Dowdy who points out the relativity is wrong. But I'm just trying to find the original video. Okay, here we go. I'll play this right quick.
Hello, this is.
Here's Ron Hatch speaking.
Paper on this recently published. For example, recently published a paper on those scandalous clocks, talking about this clock effect in the GPS magazine, and I got one or two comments at all. And so in general, if they disagree with you these days, they just ignore you. Unfortunately,
they don't ridicule you. They just pretend like you're not there.
Right. That's pretty much
because
the way it
it's
goes.
easier for them to do that. They don't have to be accountable then.
Exactly.
There's been a
Okay, that's one part. Here's another part, because YouTube removed it, but somebody re-uploaded it. They really do try to censor a lot of this info. This is like an official guy. It's pretty fucked up. But somebody re-uploaded another thing. I had to play that part first, and then here's another part of it.
been a lot of information out there about space and time. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I believe they're completely disjointed. There's no mixing of space and time. Yes, the bias of clocks has to be changed as a function of your speed, which is what I was talking about, and that's fundamentally what's in Lorenz's equation, Lorenz's transformation.
Yeah, Lorentz.
But
it's something he explained prior to Einstein, so he can't even take credit for that.
But that's an effect of clocks running at different rates physically. It's not an intermixing of.
That's an effect of clocks running at different rates physically, is what he's pointing out. Not space-time curvature. You gotta use the most abstract answer for why that happens. It's not necessary. Sometimes Occam's razor will explain everything. All right, you don't need to jump to the most obtuse and abstract answer.
Effect of clocks running transformation, but that's an effect of clocks running at different rates physically. It's not an intermixing of space and time.
That
so
makes
I believe
sense to me.
time is completely disjointed from space.
The theoretician.
He says time is completely disjointed from space. Okay? This is a GPS expert and engineer.
Tell the world that GPS is a beautiful example of how relativity is used in everyday life. But it's not true. It is not used. At best, it's like a broken clock. It is right 2 times a day. Then why do they say it? Because they tell you how it should work, not really how it works.
Eventually, I do think that the truth will out. It does over the years, but it's been a long time. And when it becomes a matter of doctrine that one can't disagree with, it's much more difficult to.
Well, but science isn't that way. I mean, over centuries it's changed and things have been improved and disproved.
Yeah, science isn't that way. It changes once things are proved and disproved.
That's the way it's going to be with this.
But it can literally take centuries.
Okay, I just wanted to play that. He's pointing out that, yeah. Here's another thing from him too, though. He's pointing out that, yeah, the experiment with the clocks it's just not following sound logic is the problem. And Lorentz is the original propagator of what Einstein was trying to say. It's not something he came up with.
Here's a few nice quotes that I just couldn't help from putting in. The tendency of a group of human beings to quickly come to believe something that...
This is something else that Ron Hatch said. I'm just playing it right now. This is a talk he did.
Here's a few nice quotes that I just couldn't help from putting in. The tendency of a group of human beings to quickly come to believe something that its individual members will later see as obviously false is truly amazing.
Yeah,
it is controversy that keeps science alive and keeps it moving. And science is the organized skepticism and the reliability of expert opinion.
Yeah. It's reliability of agreeing upon a belief and not necessarily science. Organized science, anyway. Like, our scientific authorities are not really doing science. They're doing an organized belief structure. That's what they're doing.
And science is the organized skepticism and the reliability of expert opinion.
I mean, that's what it should be, but what our scientists are doing is not that.
I tend to agree strongly with those statements.
What he just said is what they should be doing, but that's not what they're really doing.
Just a little background. I've written a bunch of papers. I figured I'd put them here. If you have questions, you can probably find them. These are the last one there has.
Yeah, he has. I'll read the papers. Anyone can look these up. So he wrote a paper called "Those Scandalous Clocks: GPS Solutions," where he's criticizing that clock experiment, and that was a 2004 paper he wrote. He did another one in 2007, A New Theory of Gravity, Overcoming Problems with General Relativity, and Physics Essays. These are the papers or books or magazines he distributed these papers to. Contesting and Testing Infinitesimal in 2010. He wrote this, Contesting and Testing Infinitesimal Lorentz Transformations. Lorentz is, of course, where Einstein got his original inspiration for this and just pretty much repurposed it. He didn't really do anything new here. About the only thing he didn't do was remove the ether from the entire understanding, because before Einstein and the quantum mechanic people, there was this understanding of the ether. People accepted that. After that, they just removed it, and then they replaced it with shit like dark matter to explain what was already, the ether was already explaining, because they can't quantify what a field. Basically, that's the only reason that they removed the ether from the equation, because then they'd have to quantify a field, and they don't know how to do that, especially when this field even manifests, even if we're using a vacuum. That doesn't make sense to people who want to quantify everything and commodify it and try to put a price tag on it. The whole problem is like a capitalist perspective on why this is why we have the quantum mechanics takeover, right? They want to be able to quantify shit and sell you back your reality, all right? They want to put a price tag on your reality, say you only get this amount of something that would otherwise is universal and surrounds you, but they don't want you to know that this shit surrounds you and is all around, and then you exist in a field of this shit that they're selling back to you, because then you'd be able to know you're being ripped off, and you'd be able to demand, proper compensation and proper, not to be ripped off, basically. But capitalists don't want you to be able to know your power. They don't want you to have knowledge. They don't want you to recognize your actual power level. They want you to know you're being ripped off, basically.
Hasn't been accepted yet, but I'm fairly confident.
This is why the government came, and once Tesla died, it came and took a lot of his papers, and they have not released much of them at all back to the public. Oh, they said, oh, there's nothing useful in those papers. Yeah, if there was nothing useful in those papers, then why didn't you, like, publish them to the public? Why didn't you release them to the public if they're so unimportant? Because they're gaslighting. Also, speaking of that whole situation, little known fact, but Trump's uncle was involved in looking over Tesla's papers after he died. This is true. You can look this up. His name was, I think, Jonathan G. Trump. Let me look it up. This is true, though. Not bullshit. I'm not making this up. Okay. We're getting into just a big old science discussion now, and politics, really. But this is important. A lot of people don't understand their own reality because there are efforts in the world to make you not understand your own reality. So you're perpetually enslaved. Okay? They don't want you figuring out shit. They want you stupid. Okay. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, John G. Trump. That was his name. The missing papers. There's also a PBS report about it. Yeah. This is Donald Trump's actual uncle. That's not just a coincidental last name. That's his actual uncle. Actually, Donald Trump even brought him up recently this year. He was lying about him, but he did bring him up. One of the more controversial topics involving Nikola Tesla is what became of many of his technical and scientific papers after he died in 1943. Just before his death, at the height of World War II, he claimed that he had perfected his so-called death beam. Okay, that's what they called it, but the beam is like, it was actually the whole point behind creating it was to intercept nuclear weapons, basically, because they were trying to create these mass destruction type of weapons. And Tesla got in his head, this is going to create like a bad president. We're gonna need a way to like intercept these super weapons, and this was the motivation behind creating this beam. So it was natural that the FBI and other U.S. government agencies would be interested in any scientific ideas involving weaponry. Some were concerned that Tesla's papers might fall into the hands of the Axis powers or the Soviets, who were good, though. The Soviets were good. They were our allies in World War II, but the U.S. was secretly working with the Axis powers, so they were gaslighting with about being afraid of the Axis powers. No, the Wall Street funded the Axis powers. They propped them up to begin with to fight the communists. That's what they were created for. That's why the Nazis were empowered. They were empowered to fight the communists and perpetuate like white supremacy. That's what they were propped up to do, because the U.S. runs on that. It was built on white supremacy, and as was the UK, who was also assisting with this effort to back the Axis powers, covertly, of course. But Winston Churchill, look at him. He wanted to actually join the Nazis with Operation Unthinkable, and the CIA director, or the OSS director at the time, also wanted to join the Nazis. All right, the U.S. and UK both wanted to join the Nazis to fight the Soviets, but that never went through because they were outvoted by people who still had some influence at the time, who were more left-leaning. Then they got deposed in later decades, and now we have like outright Nazi fascism going on. The morning after the inventor's death, his nephew Sava Kasanovich, this is Tesla's nephew, he was actually a communist, so he was good. I think Tesla had more sympathies toward communists. And that's why he kept this good nephew around. He hurried to his uncle's room at the Hotel New Yorker. He was an up-and-coming Yugoslav official with suspected connections to the Communist Party in his country. Yeah, they destroyed Yugoslavia in later decades, the NATO and U.S. By the time he arrived, Tesla's body had already been removed by the feds. And Kosanovic suspected that someone had already gone through his uncle's effects. Technical papers were missing, as well as a black notebook he knew Tesla kept. A notebook with several hundred pages, some of which were marked government. P.E. Foxworth, assistant director of the New York FBI office, was called in to investigate. According to Foxworth, the government was vitally interested in preserving Tesla's papers. 2 days after Tesla's death, representatives of the Office of Alien Property, not literal aliens, they just mean like foreign. This office dealt with like a bunch of foreign shit. There was no real fucking alien. Or that's not why they were created, though. I mean, if you want to believe in aliens, this isn't why they were created. They were created to like as an excuse to go after foreign operatives or people who are just foreign that they didn't like. They're not operatives of any government. But went to his room at the New York, because you know, Tesla was not like he's not from America. He was from like Serbia. Yeah, according to Fox, the government was vitally interested in. Yeah, I already read that. Yeah, the Office of Alien Property went to his room at the New Yorker Hotel and seized all his possessions. And then a Dr. John G. Trump, an electrical engineer at the National Defense Research Committee of the Office of Scientific Research and Development. That's Donald Trump's uncle. Okay? Confirmed. You can look it up. He's on, you know, you look up anything on him. It points to him being his relative. And Donald Trump recently brought him up. Okay. Was called in to analyze the Tesla papers in OAP custody. Yeah, the Alien Property Organization. Following a 3-day investigation, Dr. Trump concluded his Tesla's thoughts and efforts during at least the past 15 years were primarily of a speculative, philosophical, and somewhat promotional character, often concerned with production and wireless transmission of power, but did not include new sound workable principles or methods for realizing such results. And if you believe that, you're gullible, because if that was true, why weren't they released to the public? They kept them. So that sounds like gaslighting to me. They just didn't want people to have that knowledge. That's what it is. They didn't want the general public to have that knowledge. They only want, you know, these authorities to have it. All right. And there's more, but I think that just sums up. I mean, it just proves what I was just saying. Okay. This is from an old PBS report, but it's verifiable. You can go look it up. Anyway, let's listen to more of this Ron Hatch right quick, and then I'll get back to the game.
But it will be in the near future now. It's been in process of 2 years fighting with some of the reviewers. Okay,
he's been trying to get a lot of papers published that like a lot of these authorities who don't want people to know shit have been refusing his papers, even though he's like a GPS expert. And he had official clearance to do GPS work with the government.
I'm in this process, but I'm fairly confident it will be in the near future now. It's been in process of 2 years fighting with some of the reviewers. Okay, now into some of the questions and answers. I've tended to put in red things that I disagree with, and I haven't followed that carefully, and green things that are true. And here's some things about GPS that I think they have pictured properly. And one of those is, what effects does gravitational potential have on an atomic clock? Clocks higher in the gravity field run faster, and also in motion, what does kinetic energy, not just velocity, but kinetic energy, speed of movement, have on atomic clock rates, and it slows them down. And there's clear evidence.
That's not because of space-time curvature, though. which he'll explain.
Since for this, GPS in an elliptic orbit, it's not highly elliptic, but elliptic enough. When it's near perigee, it's going faster and it's lower in the gravity field. The two effects are identically equal and add together. And in fact, the equations in different uses, sometimes we'll compute the velocity and use that and double it, and sometimes they'll compute the potential and double that. Similarly, on the surface of the Earth, because we're spinning, a clock at the equator, for example, is farther away from the center of the Earth. It's got a lower gravitational potential, and that higher gravitational potential, higher up, causes it to run faster, but it's spinning, which causes it to run slower, and they exactly cancel each other, so that if you had a mean sea level all the way around the Earth, all the clocks would run at the same rate. Kind of interesting. The next is the theory equivalence principle. Gravity acts on electromagnetic radiation, and here's what the recognized authorities say. And here is where we run into some real problems. The claims, the frequency energy of electromagnetic radiation which rises in a gravitational field has a redshift, i.e. it decreases. When falling, it has a blue shift, or increases. And I show that 4 people here, Einstein, Feynman, Clifford Will, and Neil Ashby. Will and Ashby are current theorists that are well recognized, and they all claim that this is the case. Well, they use an energy argument from Feynman and Einstein. One of them talks about frequency, one about energy, but it's the same thing. The argument is made by the conservation of energy. It takes energy to move an atom up in a gravity field, and then you let it emit some radiation. You lower the atom back down and let it absorb electromagnetic radiation. Well, the energy of the atom is different, they claim, and therefore you have to have the energy of the radiation that's gone between them has to change, or you wouldn't get back your original energy. Well, what's the problem with that? The critical assumption in the Einstein and Feynman energy argument is that the same amount of energy is required to emit radiation from an atom independent of gravitational potential. Well, this is not obviously true, and I will show that in fact it is obviously not true.
It violates the law of conservation of energy. So that's the problem here. If we're going off of
First of all, the transit system and GPS both show that, in fact...
I mean, we're using this concept while saying that relativity is the same, even though, I don't know. Even though we're saying, like, relativity also exists, this doesn't work.
And I will show that, in fact, it is obviously not true. First of all, the transit system and GPS both show that, in fact, the frequency as it falls from satellite to ground does not change. In fact, I find it highly interesting that Clifford Will admits on page 50 of his Was Einstein Right that clocks are affected when you move them up and down in the gravity field, but he says we can't really know if it's a clock rate because it's not measured in real time. Yeah, just some real beautiful logic here.
Yeah, it's just a flaw in like understanding. It's just like a rationalizing issue. Like they're not rationalizing. They're not being rational is what the problem is, and how they're perceiving what's happening there.
So I claim that it is just some real beautiful logic here. So I claim that it is the frequency emitted which changes and not the frequency in transit. For example, the famous experiment at Stanford where they let radiation fall in a tower, it was the fact that the clocks that they measure the frequency with is different, not the fact that the radiation changed.
Yeah, the clock. It's not like clocks are an absolute arbiter of time. That to where like if they're running slower than another, that means you're altering time, or time is curving, or some dumb shit. No, that's not what's happening. These are machines at the end of the day, okay? These are constructs that are, vulnerable to outward effects, environmental effects. That's what's going on.
There's direct proof available from GPS to show that this frequency does not change in transit. I think this is the best case that I can make. GPS sends a modulated signal from satellite to ground that's binary encoded, and encoded in it is the time at which the signal left the satellite, and the time at which it reaches the ground and can be measured. The difference in time sent and the time received is multiplied by the speed of light to get the distance. If the frequency or energy increased in transit during the time, the phase reversals would be wrong and the measured distance would be short. Well, maybe it is short, but the integrated carrier frequency would get shorter and shorter because it's all continuously decreasing. And in fact, my old Hatch filter, where I smoothed the code measurements with the carrier to get higher accuracy, would diverge. It doesn't diverge, therefore the frequency cannot be changing as it falls. And here's that outstanding logic again, I say, from world-famous relativists. Clifford Will, I already mentioned, he says, you don't know whether it happens in real time or not. Neil Ashby, I call this double or nothing quote. Second, the strong equivalence principle implies that light traveling downward in the gravitational field is shifted to a higher frequency, i.e. it is blue shifted and gains energy. As a consequence, atomic clocks at a higher elevation of the gravitational field run faster. I say, what? What kind of logic do these people are trained in? I think, quoting from Peter, just a phrase in the New Testament, they are willingly ignorant. I happen to know, for example, Clifford Will, a graduate student of his, called me once after he read one of my letters and said, I talked to Will about this, and he says you're wrong, and when he gets back from vacation, he'll let you know. Well, that was 2 years ago. I presume he's back from vacation by now. And Ashby recently submitted an article to that same magazine that I had my first paper in on that list, and it essentially addressed the same issue that I addressed 7 years earlier. Well, he came up with a weird explanation for the same thing that I explained, I think, logically. I criticized it back to the editor. Turns out the editor is a friend of mine, or I would never have got the original paper published. But so I sent the criticism back, and that's been 4 or 5 months ago, and the paper still hasn't appeared. So I'm beginning to think that they are, as I said, willingly ignorant. They don't want to look at the facts. Okay, there are a lot of related questions, though, if you follow this logic to its natural conclusions. Incidentally, this is Sheldon Harris. Again, I saw one earlier of this same picture, I think. He hasn't made any progress with his theories, so he's beginning to work on his resemblance to Einstein. Okay. Where does gravitational potential energy come from? How does the gravitational force arise? Do inertial and structural mass diverge? How is the total energy split between structural energy and kinetic energy? Is the matter wave frequency or energy defined by twice the classical kinetic energy? And can black holes exist? So let's look at some of the implications of that fact that the frequency doesn't change as it falls. It has some huge implications. First of all, we can reverse Einstein and Feynman to say, obviously, if the frequency hasn't changed going up and down, then the energy hasn't changed of the particle itself. Well, that means that this energy of falling must have come from the structure itself. In other words, the rest mass energy, I'll show later, I'd prefer to call it structural. The structural mass energy is what has changed and provided us our gravitational energy. Since radiant energy doesn't change, the kinetic energy of fall must come from the decrease of the rest mass energy. And that's a big implication. There's some gravitational force implications. If gravitational energy comes from the rest mass, the spatial gradient derivative of the energy should give us the gravitational force. And it does very closely. If I use a gravitational scale factor for lengths and energy and et cetera, which we'll go into a little more, Einstein has the square root one there. I have instead an isotropic one, it's called in some of the literature, but it's the one I get
Einstein's square root is pilfered off of Henry Poincaré. It's not even something he came up with. That was Henry Poincaré.
I say that matter is made up of resonant spinning ether blobs, if you will, and low. And because
and his
it
wife
takes
did most of his his other equations, even though these are incorrect anyway. But yeah, his wife did all of his equations practically. And then they divorced, and then he married his cousin, which is, he's a cousin fucker, okay? He's a fucking hillbilly cousin fucker. That's what he was. From Germany, though.
Reaction time of the ether at C, that's where we get mc squared. In any case, if I use the exponential form, you'll see it differs only out there in the second order. But when I take that potential energy and take the gradient of it, a big difference. In the isotropic form, I get the scale factor in the numerator here, right there. And if I use Einstein's, it goes in the denominator. In other words, the force would increase as I fall, even though I know I'm losing energy, structural energy, which I think is the gravitational potential energy. So the isotropic form has to be the correct form for me to gain energy from the particle itself. Well, this has other interesting implications. In fact, if you pursue it to its logical, the G itself has a scale factor. I almost neutralize that by putting C fourth in the denominator and saying the force is generated by the energy of the rest mass energy or structural energy of the source and acting on the structural energy of the particle, which now is decreasing in energy as it falls. And in fact, this explains Halton-Arp's low energy, I think, because as you add more and more mass, it has less and less effect. Incidentally, that rules out a black hole, among other things, but it also explains quite a bit of Halton-Arp's observations, I believe. Since they measure how much mass there is in a star by the orbiting stars around it or whatever, this decreased force, because of this decreased S, also says that they're measuring the mass too low, which explains why some of the blue stars have a red shift that Halton-Arp explained, and fits together with it being a gravitational shift and works out very nicely. Gravitational scaling and no black holes. Shapiro experiment did radar time delay from Mars as it passes behind the sun and showed that.
Shapiro. He pronounces it weird, but it's fine.
In fact, the speed of light slows as the square of the gravitational scale factor. Local time intervals get longer by the inverse of S, clock frequency slowing, which implies that lengths shorten by S, and that means that the structural energy decreases by S. The mass itself increases as the cube, but the energy decreases because of the
structural energy. He means the actual structure of the clock, right? It's what is the word? Well, the mechanisms within it are moving slower because, less gravity, less mass, if that's the word you want to use, because of, less gravity. So that's what that is. It's not the curvature of space-time, though. It's just the structure of this concoction. And, it's just susceptible to that. It's susceptible to the field that it's moving in.
The speed of light changing.
The frequency that it's in.
And black holes, the gravitational force is self-limiting. The structure and gravitational energy decrease proportional to S. Gravitational force does not.
A lot of these parts within the clocks they're made of metal, which is very susceptible to the this electromagnetic field. Okay, it creates like a field modality when interacting with it. So it's going to do things like slow or speed up depending on what frequency it is within this field.
Not act on electromagnetic radiation, which means that any emissions from if a black hole were there, if it were straight up, it would have no effect. What you're seeing is just simply the lower frequency at which it was emitted. Now, it is true that, that there's
just the frequency is lower.
Some refraction effects, so if it came out at an angle, it would dim that result. But the major effect is there obviously could not be a black hole. Okay, weak equivalence principle. Gravitational and inertial mass are equal is the claim, and the energy implications of that. The velocity scale factor I give over here, and there's the total energy, the potential energy plus the kinetic. The components of the total energy, I say the structural and the kinetic, are given here, and you'll notice that I've doubled the kinetic energy. And that's because I claim that there's a hidden component, which is evidenced by the fact that a moving particle emits lower radiation. So it has converted part of its structural mass, when it moves, into kinetic mass. And that works out for a number of reasons, and it looks like it's great. The identification of the structural, gravitational, and inertial mass then becomes like this. Inertial mass times the speed of light times s gives the total energy, and then the gravitational energy and the kinetic energy. Okay, problem is the decreased potential energy causes the frequency radiated to decrease and therefore decreased structural energy. Increased kinetic energy also causes it to decrease, and the solution is the same. The structural and inertial mass diverge with velocity. And there's actually been some evidence of that in some other papers that I don't cite here. The theory says the rest mass is invariant with frame and energy conservation. The invariance of the rest mass it's really interesting here. In special relativity, they claim that the rest mass doesn't change. Well, if we work through the equations and we expect energy to be conserved, what we'd expect would be that the energy of the moving planet or whatever would be decreased by kinetic energy. And sure enough, when you plug in that into this equation, you get that the structural mass has apparently decreased by its motion factor. The potential energy decreases the kinetic. Significant difference there. I can integrate my clock frequency changes and get time. I can't integrate Doppler frequency and get time.
Exactly, the Doppler effect really shits on this. I'm going to go back to listen to that one.
Said it, Feynman said it, Ashby said it, and gravity in that potential. Okay, on to the next. GPS and the strong equivalence principle. Theory, here's what the experts say. The effects of acceleration and gravity are completely equivalent. Einstein said it, Feynman said it, Ashby says it in chapter 14 of the Global Positioning Bible, if you will. And let's just go on. What experiment says.
Since it is faith-based at this point.
Gravitational potential causes clock rate changes, but acceleration causes Doppler frequency changes. Well, there's a significant difference there. I can integrate my clock frequency changes and get time. I can't integrate Doppler frequency and get time. By the previous argument from GPS, the frequency does not change when falling, and in the radiated frequency clock reach, which changes the function of the gravitational potential. In GPS, the Doppler frequency can be distinguished from the clock rate by sending the clock reading via the same electromagnetic signal, i.e. modulated on the signal. And tracking millisecond pulsars can distinguish between clock rate and Doppler rate, and clearly shows that they aren't equal. Clock rate integrates into clock time, but Doppler does not. The effects are not equivalent. I do admit there is one minute effect that cancels, and that is with the Earth falling towards the sun as it orbits, and the GPS also falling, it turns out over that 70 milliseconds, there's just enough tiny acceleration of the Earth that it essentially cancels out that clock effect instantaneously. But as we shall see, the integration of it still has good effects. On to theory again. Infinitesimal Lorentz boosts or transformations. The theory claims that they are a valid means of adjusting SRT to accelerated frames, and I give a bunch of references for that. Experiment instead agrees with Goy's hypothesis. He's a prof in Italy, and he says that you can't do Lorentz transformations instantaneously all the way around that, but you can set your clock rate instantaneously to whatever the velocity is at that point. And that's proven by the fact in a muon storage ring, the acceleration has no effect, but the velocity does directly affect it. And here I want to do a couple illustrative experiments to illustrate a little bit of this. If you use GPS and free-running clocks to measure the time and the speed of light in orbit around the Earth, and I'm going to measure the speed of light across this bar, or even perhaps across this bar, if I gravity gradient stabilize it, for example, so that this always points towards the Earth, then these two clocks on the two edges run at exactly the same rate because they're traveling at exactly the same rate and exactly the same potential. Meanwhile, these two are traveling at slightly different speeds, and that speed is just exactly enough to cancel the difference in the potential. And so all these clocks will run at the same rate if I'm not rotating this. If I continue, the horizontal leg is just like GRACE, and the GRACE satellites clearly show they use GPS for time, and they clearly show that yes, the clocks run at the same rate. They agree with the GPS time, and GRACE is just two satellites in the same orbit separated by a couple hundred kilometers. But there's some interesting things that we can also learn here. For light traveling between those two satellites, it turns out it will be measured as c minus v, the velocity of the satellites, because of the transit time, how far the satellites have moved in that transit time. We can reduce that to a distance traveled. We can compute a change in clock that would compensate for it. And it turns out that it's exactly that Vx over c squared, negative. And for carrying a clock, if you look at the gamma factor and look at the center part term, which is caused by the orbit, you get that same correction. The first term, this can be made arbitrarily small by moving slowly, and this one is common to anything on the Earth. So you can get exactly the same effect by carrying a clock from one to the other. Slow clock transport induces a...
You can be terrestrial and have this same effect. This is an oversight that was not caught by Einstein and people like him.
Clock bias and Einstein two-way synchronization. And slow clock transport induces a clock bias and Einstein two-way synchronization, one common to anything on the Earth. So you can get exactly the same effect by carrying a clock from one to the other. Slow clock transport induces a clock bias and Einstein two-way synchronization and introduces that same clock bias. Yeah. So they will measure the speed of light as c if, in fact, you try to synchronize them. But if you don't synchronize them and it's not rotating, you won't. Well, next 10, what if we rotate it? Or what if we stop the rotation? We were rotating the last one, pointing towards the Earth. This one we not. And one way of doing that would be to spin this thing around its vertical axis, and now it won't rotate.
I think I've made the point. All right. This is a GPS expert just laying it down. That's a longer explanation, but I just played the parts that I thought would be, it's supporting what I'm pointing out. Okay? We never needed relativity for GPS. And the concepts behind GPS were conceived by people it was conceived by people who, before Einstein even did anything. Like, Tesla was writing about, the concept of a GPS before, I think before Einstein even wrote a paper about relativity. And people smarter than even Tesla were writing about this concept. There's another guy I wanted to mention. I forgot his full name though. But yeah, he was pretty damn smart. And yeah, we have GPS engineers who aren't using relativity. They never used it, to be honest. I don't know why it's quoted that we wouldn't have GPS, proper GPS or anything, if not for relativity. It's incorrect. If not for Einstein's theory of relativity, we wouldn't have it. Okay. It's wrong, though. I just pointed this out. Also, here's Nikola Tesla talking about, yeah. Where is it at? I think he's talking about curvature of space-time. Here it is. Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein's theory of gravity. It might be inferred that I am alluding to the curvature of space supposed to exist according to the teachings of relativity, but nothing could be further from my mind. Hold that space cannot be curved, for the simple reason that it can have no properties. It might as well be said that God has properties. He has not, but only attributes, and these are of our own making. Of properties we can only speak when dealing with matter filling the space. To say that in the presence of large bodies space becomes curved is equivalent to stating that something can act upon nothing. I, for one, refuse to subscribe to such a view. Right? And people will write today that, oh, Tesla was wrong because we went back and tried to like rescue this theory that even Einstein abandoned from we rescued it from the grave with our new experiment with this Hubble telescope. You got to believe that this is a real image too, even though this is the only telescope that can see this far into this galaxy that we've looked at before and never found this phenomena. But you just trust us that this is a real curvature of space. I'm like, okay, we could say that image is exactly what you're saying is happening. Yeah, there's light bending in that image, sure. But even what Nikola Tesla points out would explain that. So it doesn't. You're not proving Tesla wrong when you show an image like that. Even if we want to believe it's real, I started questioning a lot of these images when they started doing those gravitational wave photos of a black hole, and then you find out, oh, this is actually put together in silico. This isn't actually what the fucking gravitational telescope saw. It's just an image created by a computer algorithm, and they had to piece part of it together manually to make it look presentable to the public. That's all that happened. It wasn't really what they're seeing, so I question a lot of these pictures. But even if we want to believe some of these pictures, there's like Einstein has like an explanation for why a light is bending in a circle. I mean, not Einstein. I mean, Tesla has an explanation. It doesn't disprove anything he said. It's not space itself bending. We read a great deal about matter being changed into force and force being changed into matter by the cosmic rays. This is absurd. It is the same as saying that the body can be changed into the mind and the mind into the body. We know that the mind is a functioning of the body. And in the same manner, force is a function of matter. Without the body, there can be no mind. Without the matter, there can be no force. So what he's basically pointing out there is that, like, space is basically a shadow of something else that exists. It's not actually something that exists. It's a shadow. It is a reflection of something that does exist. It's not something that it exists individually, is what he's trying to point out. All right? Einstein has for years developed formulas explaining the mechanism of the cosmos. In doing this, he overlooked an important factor, namely the fact that some of the heavenly bodies are increasing in distance from the sun. This is the same as writing a business letter and forgetting the subject you wish to write about in order to explain this phenomena. Einstein has invented the quantity lambda. Yeah, and he abandoned the quantity lambda after Tesla shit on it, basically. After Tesla shit on this lambda concept, Einstein abandoned it. So yeah. My theory of gravitation explains this phenomenon perfectly. What is thought in relativity, for example, is not science, but some kind of metaphysics based on abstract mathematical principles and conceptions which will be forever incomprehensible to normal people. Because we exist in normal people exist in a three-dimensional world. That's what he says. Normal people exist in a three-dimensional world. These metaphysics people who are like masquerading as scientists are presenting concepts that only exist in a made-up world that's not of the three dimensions. Okay, that's what he's trying to say. They're not, you know, existing in reality. He's saying they're just making shit up. Every action is accompanied by an equivalent reaction, and the effects of the latter are directly opposite to those of the former. Supposing that the bodies act upon the surrounding space, causing curvature of the same, it appears to my simple mind that the curved spaces must react on the bodies in producing the opposite effects, straighten out the curves. Since action and reaction are coexistent, it follows that the supposed curvature of space is entirely impossible. But even if it existed, it would not explain the motions of the bodies as observed. Only the existence of a field of force can account for them, and the assumption dispenses with space curvature. So this right here explains like why you would even see like a bending or curvature of light. Like it's not. He's already explaining how that would happen. There needs to be like some field of force to create that. It's not like something just it's just happening on its own. It's like space is just ripping apart. No, there's some force at hand going on there. There's a field of force. That's what he says. All literature on the subject is futile and destined to oblivion, going off of Einstein's proposition and all this relativist bullshit. So are also all attempts to explain the workings of the universe without recognizing the existence of the ether. This is what he's pointing out. Yeah, the ether is creating that field of force, okay? And basically the ether, you can be explained, it's like, you know, electromagnetic sort of a medium. It's an electromagnetic medium that persists through all reality. And you can create electromagnetic field modalities to create what we enjoy as electricity, power, heat, or, well, not heat. Yeah, heat, actually. And light, all right? These are just, all these things we manifest are like electromagnetic field modalities within a medium that's ever present, and it's always around. It's even ever present in a vacuum. That's why it manifests in space, which is thought of as a vacuum. You still see that phenomena there. You can see it in an artificial vacuum in a lab as well. So are also all attempts to explain the workings of the universe without recognizing the existence of the ether and the indispensable function it plays in the phenomena. But they've for some reason, they've just tried to discard the ether because it can't be quantified, right? And the reason it can't be quantified is because they can't actually measure something outside of. They can't do like a measurement of the absence of the field with which they're existing in. You can't quantify something you can't exist outside of. You have to show the absence of that. That's why they want to discard this concept. And also, like what I said before, they want to make everything to where it can only be a quantifiable amount that they could just sell back to people, instead of making them realize that, this shit it's like ever present and all around you. You don't really need to purchase this from us in the quantities of particles we sell to you, as if this is how it really works. But they want you to think that's how this works, because it's some commoditization and capitalist sort of framework going on. That's the real issue. Capitalism ruins everything, even physics. All right. The relativity theory, by the way, is much older than its present proponents. It was advanced over 200 years ago by my illustrious countryman Boscovic, the great philosopher, who, notwithstanding other and multi-field obligations, wrote 1,000 volumes of excellent literature on a vast variety of subjects. Boscovic dealt with relativity, including the so-called time-space continuum. This is a quote from Tesla. So he said, like, yeah, this relativity nonsense was better. It was better done by an old friend of mine 200 years ago. I mean, not his literal friend, but a philosopher. He's not a scientist. This is a philosopher who, proposed this concept. And it's 200 years old. It's not something that Einstein came up with. So anyway, I think I made my point. I don't know. This game really set me off because I've been trying to, all this quantum physicists, they really piss me off. So whenever anything with quantum or Einstein is brought up, I really got to go off on a tangent. I've gotten into stupid arguments with people in real life over this because they want to say you're dumb if you don't believe or if you question anything that these people say. And you show contradictions in what they're saying. All right. So I just had to go off on a tangent, an hour tangent. I had to. All right. I'm a man of science, or I like to think of myself as one. So that'll happen sometimes, very rarely, but it happens. Like today, it happened. I haven't done one of these in a while. Like I used to do streams where I would do science streams, or I'd go off on a tangent on some streams over science. It's been a while since that, though. I guess I was well overdue. That's just a bunch of pent up rage from that. I hope I made sense, though. It is kind of late, so my fatigue might be affecting how I'm communicating. Now where the hell should I go? What do we have that's new? Oh, we have this, yeah. I guess we can go to that old man at the graveyard. Maybe he'll know what's... I don't know. This probably won't do anything. He's been no help since this entire chapter. The only help he offered was like, we stole his thermos.
I'll keep it.
Yeah.
Medcon's business ID. Let's see. Yes! There's a payment to Medcon here. No, one every month. At 100k a pop. Nazari, that lying yuppie shit. How much goes to line her pockets?
I had to match the pen with this. Okay. Let's go back to her then. Good thing I did that. I didn't have to be there to do it though.
Security, he's back again. If you have something to say, you'd better make it quick.
I'm gonna keep coming back.
You've been lying to me, Doctor. I throw the document on her desk. Medcon's been taking monthly payoffs.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What was that about a conflict of...
Wait a minute, let me turn the volume down a little bit. Just a little bit, okay.
Interest? Seems like something the medical board should know about.
Wait.
She reaches to her intercom.
Tell security he's gone.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Carter.
Okay, you got me. A company called Trinity Biotech is paying for help with trials, as well as our discretion.
You're taking hush money.
The IP they're working with is sensitive. They don't want attention until it's ready for market.
They don't want attention because they're murdering people.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
You've turned a blind eye. Who wouldn't for a few million a year coming in?
What do you think the payoff is for? Oh, they're definitely not killing people. I'm just gonna take this hush money, though.
Think what you want. Are we through here?
You'll answer my questions, or I'll get the press to ask them for me.
You're messing with things much bigger than you, Carter.
Is that a threat?
A statement of fact. Ask your questions. I have nothing to hide.
Now you don't. Because you're afraid that we'll go tell other people. What if we don't care about dying, bitch? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get the truth out. We die over and over anyway. We keep coming back. It's not a threat to us. Okay, let's ask about this and him.
So what does Trinity do?
Well, rumor is they have some major breakthrough related to quantum cognition. But it's all hush-hush until they publish.
Okay. Well, how do I find them?
Yes,
Sorry.
exactly.
They contact me. They made it clear I shouldn't try to contact them.
But you organised their medical trials.
Uh-huh.
Well, not really. They have access to our database of subjects. I just flag people matching their demographic.
I see.
Let me guess. Homeless people.
Yeah.
Well, yes. But it's all voluntary. They all sign waivers.
So that makes it...
Yeah, you're preying on their vulnerability, though. That's what's going on. They're just desperate. You're taking advantage of desperate people. Yeah, they all sign waivers. Yeah, these sex trafficked people all sign waivers. Not like they're not forced to do it or anything.
For Trinity to abduct them off the street?
I don't think they...
Yeah.
This is an argument somebody would use when I was in Korea. Because Korea had a big sex trafficking problem. It still does. But when I was over there, yeah. People would be tricked into signing something that they didn't know what they were signing up for. So, like, if you give some people to sign a waiver for something you're not really being straightforward with, that's not an actual excuse either, because a lot of these sex trafficked people, when I was over in Korea, they didn't know they were signing up for sex trafficking. They thought they were signing up for entertainment. Like, to actually go into showbiz and be pop stars. They didn't know they were going to be sex trafficked to some fucking brothel. Okay? They're just desperate people. But that doesn't mean that they know what they're signing up for.
Trinity pays you not to. Okay. So you do know Dr. Roth?
Okay, yes. He's one of the founders of Trinity. Dr. Gideon Roth. He's a physicist and neurologist.
Uh-huh.
He started Trinity with 2 others, though I only had contact with him and Professor Holden.
Holden?
Maxwell Holden. Highly respected
neuroscientist. The bald guy, I guess.
So a bit odd. Don't think he and Roth ever got on.
I'll go look him up later.
So where can I find Roth? Or Holden?
Oh, you can't.
Are they
Roth
dead?
loves his privacy, and I haven't heard from Holden.
Well, I saw Roth in my fucking hospital room, so I guess he doesn't like his privacy that much. He didn't care about my privacy, that's for sure.
Holden in years. Don't even know if they still work together.
We'll see about that. We can't ask her about anything else. Okay. All right, we'll be back. Don't you worry. No. Talk to the detective first. Got some info.
What about Maxwell Holden?
If they flag Trinity, I've already tripped some alarms. I want to raise more.
I see.
So maybe the name will turn up elsewhere.
I found out this Dr. Roth runs Trinity Biotech.
Good work, boss.
Don't know how this is helping find Annie.
Lead's a lead.
That's all you ever say. Fucking loser. Thanks for nothing. He's being very useless right now. My wife is helping me more than he is my ex-wife. At this point. Well, I can't even tell her about anything. Okay. Oh, should we have grabbed that envelope again? Is it still here? I'm gonna grab it. You're not gonna call security anymore, are you? Oh, she's not calling them anymore. Good. Okay. Well, I guess we don't have the envelope anymore. We use it. After you do that, you can't do anything else with it. So we'll go to the Herald. Herald should have one of their names. Maxwell, probably. He's probably in there. If not there, then on the wall somewhere, most likely. Wait, was that his last name? No, that was his first name. Fuck, what was his name again? Wait a minute, we'll go here. Maxwell Holden, so go to the H. Okay. There he is, he's right here.
Yes, she has an address here for Maxwell Holden. Hull Road
Good shit.
UG. Underground? Hull Road. That's where Annie's car was dumped.
Oh!
Get over there then, quick.
No.
Oh, it's our son.
Not again.
Aunt Annie was always fun. I'm worried about her.
Get
Me too.
out of my head. I don't have time to... Shit!
Jumpy, aren't you?
Forgot there was a phone buried under there.
Aren't you going to answer it?
Grab it.
I digged the receiver from under a stack of papers. Hello?
You motherfucker. I knew it'd be
Oh,
you
it's the
up there.
fucking receptionist.
Real cute trick you pulled, huh? Can we meet to discuss your advance? Nice touch. Teach me to get my hopes up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
Your
I-
story's terrible, honey. You shouldn't have believed anybody would have wanted to publish that shit.
The joke's on you.
Or shitty necrophilia novel. No, that ain't it, honey.
You, buddy.
That
I
ain't-
called the cops. They're just coming in
Oh,
now.
he called the pigs, huh? Fucking snitch.
He's upstairs. I'll show you. Hey!
The phone goes dead.
Oh, is that? What if it's our detective friend who got her?
Oh, shit.
It might be the fake police, though.
What are you? Are you a...
You know as well as me, Dad.
Contact!
Oh shit! It's the fucking Black Ops guys. I bet it's not. It's not the real, or it might be the real cops. They're also working with the Black Ops guys. The Trinity Medical Network guys.
Might want to do something about that door, Dad.
Yeah, close it. Close it. My son always shows up when I'm about to die. He's my guardian angel,
Might
I
be
guess.
my only way out.
Yeah, go there.
It's barred and locked. 4 wood screws hold the latch in place,
Oh,
covered
shit.
in a thick layer of...
That's no good.
Extension cord might come in useful.
Yeah, use it.
If I get the window open, that might just work.
This one. Contact!
Oh shit. How are we gonna open this motherfucker? Yeah, well the cord is gonna be useful. How do we open this shit?
Cold enough in here without...
Contact!
Oh shit, I forgot to close that. What are you playing, son? I hope it's fun. I'm dying here.
Light. I feel it ripping away myself. Why is this happening?
Close it. Hurry up. They're literally gonna shoot me. What can I use to open this?
I wrench at the window, hoping to snap the latch. Not forcing it open. Maybe
Unscrew it with
extension
what?
cord might come.
What are we gonna unscrew it with? With this?
Won't work.
We don't have any tools.
I can't do that. No. I can't. No.
What else is here? Son, give me your
Why?
game.
What do you mean? Alec,
This one. Contact!
Oh, fuck. There's like nothing up here. I was hoping I wonder if I need to go back to the graveyard.
cold enough in here. I look through the junk again. The busted trolley. Gotta think of...
Yeah, the busted trolley will do it.
Trolley's too unwieldy to lever the window. Sure, it could break the glass, but not the bars behind.
This one. Contact!
Oh, I know what we need to do. We need to use that trolley to keep the door closed. I know what we need to do. Okay. I got it. I got you, game. Is that
the busted trolley's
Yeah.
The trolley's too flimsy to wedge under the door handle.
Are you shitting me? What the fuck?
Maybe. I dragged the broken trolley over to the filing cabinet. Here it goes.
There we go. Okay. Now I need some tools. Oh, it's a screwdriver. Okay.
Flathead. Must have rolled out from under the cabinet.
Alright. Get this plug.
Extension cord might come in useful.
Sure will. Now this.
The missized screwdriver slips on the paint-covered screws as I try to free them. Really need a Phillips head.
Where the hell is one? Is it working?
One down.
Okay, it's working. Oh my god, no!
Tear gas!
That's not tear gas.
What the hell is that?
That's a hive. Don't just stand there. Get it out.
I need to seal it in.
Pour this.
Too big. What should I?
Jesus.
Ouch! It's crawling with them, and they bite.
Put it in something then.
Oh, a bag. Okay, I got a bag. Well, it's too late now, though. Well, you could have told me that first, son. You got eaten alive.
As I'm ripped apart.
Okay, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up.
I told you should grab that hive.
Yeah, I know. Shut up.
Oh, jeez.
Put it in there.
This won't hold them long. Fucking things bite.
Throw.
Extension cord. The missized screwdriver slips on the paint-covered screws as I try to free them. The buzzing grows deafening as I frantically work at the screw. Ow! Shit! They're eating through the bag!
What the hell? They don't let me unscrew shit fast enough.
Maybe don't mess around while there's a swarm of wasps in your pocket.
Okay, what do I do then, son? Where's the bag? Is this the bag? Oh, here's the bag. It's right here.
This won't hold them long. Ow! Get off!
Throw it over there.
I try to push it through the door, but the horrid thing's swollen twice its size. It won't fit.
Good God.
The thing's been swelled. It won't fit.
Better be quick, Dad.
What do we do with this shit?
Won't help me.
Put it in there. Oh. Put it in the kit. Put it in there.
Well, that'll hold them for all of a few seconds. What then?
Shut the fuck up, son. Tired of your lip. Go to your room.
The missized screwdriver slips on the paint-covered screws as I try to free them. The buzzing grows deafening as I frantically work at the screw.
Dad, they've eaten through the cabinet?
Already?
Shit.
Should I?
Shame.
Good God.
Those things won't stay locked up for long.
Okay, bag.
This won't hold them long.
Here.
Well, that'll hold them for all of a few seconds. What then?
No way I'm letting them out again. The missized screwdriver slips on the paint-covered screws as I try to free them. The buzzing grows deafening as I frantically work at the screw.
They're eating through already.
Dad?
Shit! Ouch!
Maybe I can pour piping hot.
Shame.
Maybe I can pour the thermos on them after that. I don't know. Gotta be able to do something. Yeah, okay.
This won't hold them long.
Thermos time.
Won't work.
Really?
That won't help. That won't work. Can't see how to make... Need to... No. I can't. Won't help. Can't see. No. Need to...
Oh, wait a minute. Will they eat through the bars?
The thing's been swelling in my hands. It won't fit through the bars.
Better be quick, Dad.
Or someone they
Something
eat
else.
through the bars.
That won't work. Won't work.
Well, that'll hold them for all of a few seconds. What then?
Maybe
That won't help. I think... Maybe... That won't help. Maybe I could use that fan.
Oh, I can. Well, use it then.
Maybe I could... Need to think... Won't help me. Ouch!
Use the fan to do what?
Maybe I could use that fan. No! Won't work. Ow!
I keep saying maybe I should use the fan, but it's not letting me do anything.
Window's my only way out of here. I need it clear. I moved the fan so it will blow towards the broken window. There's no chance of the cord reaching all the way to the wall there.
Dad, they've eaten through the cabinet?
Shit!
Okay. Well, we know what to do.
Shame.
We know what to do. I think.
No. The bending, renting.
Yeah, we get it. You're in hell.
Maybe try
Get
turning
yourself
the fan
together.
on this time.
Yeah, I was trying to do that, but it wouldn't let me for some fucking reason. Kid.
This won't hold them long.
Well, if you quit talking, you can put it in there and get rid of them.
Well, that'll hold them for all of a few seconds. What then?
Shut up.
Maybe I could use that. I moved the fan so it will blow towards the broken window. There's no chance of the cord reaching all...
Dad.
Shit.
Turn it on.
Fan switched on, but its cord won't reach to the power point.
Really?
Fan switched. Extension cord might... I yank out the cord.
There we go. Get rid of them.
Screams from the corridor. That should buy me a bit of time.
We're killing the cops. Okay, yeah. Undo the fucking window now, please. Before it's too late.
Got it.
There we go.
That's as far as it'll open. Should be enough.
Yeah, you're skinny. Get out of here. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Oh, jeez. It's a long way down.
Do we use the extension cord?
You're out of time, Dad. Gonna have to jump.
Can I use this?
I'm not touching it.
Oh, they won't even let us. Okay.
It's too hot.
Dad, trust me.
Oh, shit.
Don't be a pussy. That's not that far, man. I'd jump from higher heights than that. Yeah. Oh, we're dead. Well, okay. Never mind. We trusted you, son.
Not again.
Okay, maybe that wasn't the best
Yeah.
idea.
You think, son? Well, how are we gonna get down here?
I'm not touching. No, what? If I unplug it, those insects will be out here in a second.
It seems like we don't got no choice.
I
Let's
think
go.
I need that.
Possibly you're alive, Dad.
What choice?
Just do it.
The fan judders to a stop and the insects swarm back in with a vengeance.
We got enough.
Oh, shit.
We got enough time. Just be quick about it. Yeah, we're good. Spider-Man that shit. We're fine. Oh, shit. Huh. We don't want to go down.
I kick off the wall and manage to swing to the aircon. This thing isn't gonna hold long.
Where do we want to go?
If I can't go down, I'll try going up. I get a good grip on the downpipe and start to climb. Whoa! Damn thing broke. I almost fell.
Why are we such a fat ass? Huh. Do we have anything? No. Nothing here will help this.
Here goes.
Swing, yeah, Tarzan that shit.
Phew.
We want to go that way. Oh, this just helps us see.
I might be able to get to an adjacent building if I can make it up there.
Okay. Let's do that.
Whoa. Almost fell.
Oh, really? Well, that sucks. Why did we let go of this thing? What the fuck?
Can't quite reach.
Can't use a screwdriver?
Can't.
God, what a novice.
No.
I have no idea what they want us to do.
I might be able to get. I might be able.
Yeah, I hear you, but. What if I.
Hot water got the label off the barrel, but it doesn't affect the paint.
I just want to pour water on them and burn them.
Hot water. Maybe they'll let me go if I offer them a cup of tea.
Yeah, pour it on them. No, that won't work. That would not be wise. They have body armor and everything. They probably wouldn't even be affected. They have masks and shit and helmets. This looks like something, but it's in the foreground. Or the... Yeah.
Not gonna be able to reach it without falling.
No, why are you such a pussy? I'm gonna save, just in case. Why does it keep going to that picture? Is there nothing I can use this on?
Can't. Can't.
Obviously.
Can't see how to make it work. That won't work. Gotta think. Can't. Can't. I can't. I leap for the dumpster. My leg twists as I hit the lid, and I roll onto the wet asphalt. The soldiers swarm.
Yeah, I bet they did. That didn't work. That was stupid. Yeah, we don't want to jump off this time. We're just gonna work our way back up. Lucky they don't see me.
I kick off the wall and manage to swing to the aircon. This thing isn't gonna hold long.
This would be good if he didn't let go of the fucking thing. He lets go when we bother with him.
Here goes.
Don't let go, you fucking moron!
Phew.
Why did you let go?
Not gonna be out. I might be out.
Too late now.
Damn. I should have thought of that when I was over there.
Yeah, it didn't work. Guess we'll just die. We'll die.
My leg. The so.
Shut up. We'll just.
No. I kick.
Last time we tried to climb that, it broke.
Long. I yank on the. I work the down.
Oh. Okay, that's what we needed to do.
Here goes.
Yeah. Shut up.
Phew.
Use that pipe.
Got it. I give the cord a tug, and the remnants of the fan come clear of the window, crashing to the ground below.
Good.
That won't help.
Shut up. I wasn't trying to do that.
The cord would reach to the top, but how would I get it to stay up there? The cord would reach. Can't see how to make it work. I managed to. I throw the hook upwards and manage to snag it between two bricks.
Good. Go on.
Up we go. Starting up the building, I hear
Set up
radio
her body,
chatter
son.
from below. Just hope I can beat them to the top.
Hurry the fuck up.
Almost. Close
You're lucky.
one. I think I can.
Oh,
God.
hell no. Can we shimmy? Cocoa Pop?
I was so close.
Hot water? No. Cuppa?
Hot water.
I have no idea what we're supposed to do. There's nothing to even click on. Well, that didn't work.
I revel as each synapse burns.
Yeah, we know. It hurts.
God, now I'm left with. If I. Got it. I give the cord a tug, and the remnants of the fan come clear of the window, crashing to the ground. That won't work. No.
What the fuck?
I managed to. I throw. Up we go. Start. Just hope I. Almost. Close one. Oh, God. Need to think of something. I can't. Won't work. Won't help. Gotta think of. No. Can't see. Won't work. need to think of something. No, that won't. I can't. Gotta think. That won't work.
Drink some cuppa. I have no idea. What do you want, game? I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
No more.
There's no option.
If only the... Got it. I give the... I managed... I need to sort out a better landing before I try that again.
They won't even let me do that anymore. Okay. Won't help me. Can't see it. Won't help. That won't work. I need to sort out a better landing before I try that again. I aim for the bin bags and my leg twist. The so. Yeah, that didn't work.
Got it. I give. I managed. I might be able to get to an. I need to sort. won't. I can't. No.
I'm not sure.
Won't work. No, something else.
I'm kind of stumped here.
Gotta think of something. Need to think. Can't see it. Gotta think of something else. Won't work. That won't help.
I don't know. I'm getting tired too now. It's almost 2. I'll just come back tomorrow. I've been going for 2 hours. A lot of it was science discussion, but I am a little tired now. So I'll come back and do this proper. I guess on Saturday. I don't usually stream on Friday, but I might stream right when I get home on Friday. I don't know. Then just to stream early. But anyway. Take care. The game's not letting me progress though, so I don't know what to do. For some reason. Anyway, I'm gonna end it. Have a good night if anyone caught this. Or sees this later. Anyway. Bye.